everyone. Welcome back to Poppin' In with Alexa and Molly. I'm Molly.
And I'm Alexa.
And our favorite season is upon us.
It's not
award
fall.
season.
Damn it.
It's not fall.
Damn it.
You really tried.
I'll let you say it again if you want.
Nope.
Okay.
We're going to keep going.
Sorry. I need to talk to my therapist. I want to work on interrupting people. If you listen to this podcast.
I also want you to work on that.
Oh.
No, lovingly.
Oh. If you listen to this podcast, you know I'm really bad about it. And
That's
sorry.
why I say, I'm like, I think I have the, not privilege, but I think I have the allowance to be upfront with you about that.
Yeah. But you're always very kind about it, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And you can interrupt me all you want.
That's something I'm like, I'll interrupt back, or I'll just keep talking. Sometimes that's how I do it.
And that's fine. It's just my ADD brain. I'm like, I have to get this. Like, it's like it
I
leaves
get
my
it.
mouth, and then I'm like, oh shit.
I get it. I just have learned how to cope with it.
Oh, I don't want you to cope. I want you to thrive.
It's supposed to be positive, and we're having therapy right now.
Everyone's like, I thought this was pop culture.
Yeah.
Oh well. Whoops. A little bit of both.
Yeah, and that's healthy.
That's friendship. And
It's
you're
friendship.
our friends too, so now there you go.
And it's art. Like, art doesn't have to be positive and
Molly
good
makes
and
art
happy.
about her suffering, me
No,
interrupting
it's not
her.
suffering. I didn't say that.
I would suffer, so it's okay.
Aw.
Anyways, what are you popping with this week, Molly?
You know what? I am popping with, I'm throwing it back.
I'm
what?
just kidding. I was about to interrupt you.
Oh my god. No.
Just kidding. Just
curse.
kidding.
I'm throwing it back a little. It's a little old school,
Okay.
vintage.
Okay.
I'm popping it with James Dean.
Okay, we were discussing this yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, I saw an edit of Rebel Without a Cause, and I've actually never seen that movie. And I was like, what? Like, this looks kind of fun. This looks a little interesting.
Because we were saying, like, people always talk about how hot James Dean is, and I feel like until, like, recently I never was just like,
yeah, I'm like, oh.
he's hot.
He was really hot. And also just, like, it was weird. I was watching it, and I was like, everybody in this movie looks modern. Like, you could put them in a movie now, and they all look kind of modern. Like, they look, like, hot in a modern way. You know what I mean?
In the reverse, do you think if we were cast in, like, a period piece, do you think we would pass? Or do you think, I think we have too nice of teeth, but besides that,
You know what? Maybe.
Also, I was going to say, if you like James Dean, I've been really on this TikTok where it's like, it shows like a still from a movie or whatever, and then it shows it in 4K, and there's like these James Dean ones. That's how I got on him being hot, that I'm just like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a good TikTok rabbit hole.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the movie, and so then I was like, oh, popping in with Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy Dean
I asked
breakfast
Matthew,
sandwiches.
I was stupid. I was like, is that actually why they call it Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches? He's like, no, there was an actual Jimmy Dean.
Yeah, it is a kind of
Didn't know
feels
that.
like a common name, you know.
I know, but it's like, it's James Dean.
Yeah, he was like acting, and now my real passion.
And for like, I'm
sausage.
embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to say that I've seen The Room before, like, a James Dean movie. So like, when he's like in the room, if you haven't seen that, it's like considered like the worst movie ever made.
Oh,
but
yeah.
there's like an art to it a little. Like, there's like a culture behind it. It's like definitely like a
Was
cult.
James Dean in the room?
So Tommy Wiseau, I suddenly forgot how to say his name, but he made The Room, and he's wild, but he was obsessed with James Dean. And there's like a scene in there's a scene in Rebel Without a Cause where he goes like, "You're tearing me apart." It's like a famous line. But in The Room, Tommy wrote a line in there where he's like, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa," and like everybody quotes it because he literally just like stole it from that movie. But I was like, oh, it's like from The Room, and I'm like,
Okay.
no, it's from Rebel Without a Cause.
Interesting.
Anyway,
Good to
It's
know.
not making a lot of sense, but that is what I'm popping in with.
I love that. So I'm popping in with like technically two things, but they're related to the same thing. So the
Okay.
first one is the Cotswolds in England, and it's because I'm going to talk about this later. I watched the show Rivals, and it takes place in the Cotswolds, and it's like beautiful English countryside. It's like if you are going to buy a home in your Madonna, and you're not buying it in London, you're buying it in the Cotswolds. It's like
Okay.
It's where when we watched that movie, Speak No Evil,
Yeah.
that's like kind of where like it's all those like typical cottage
Yeah.
homes, and you can do it's like an inn-to-inn hike where it's like you're hiking the Cotswolds, which normally I'm not very for that, but you get to stay
I
at like
would
a
love
nice
to do that.
inn at the end of the day and like then when you leave in the morning, they take your luggage to like the next inn. So
Wait,
you're just
that's
like
so
hiking through these little like
fun.
British towns.
I
know.
would literally kill to do that.
I actually
would
was
you
like
not?
excited to. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
I'm
you
like,
said you wouldn't do that.
like I'm not normally a hiker.
Oh, okay.
But this I would do, and I was excited to bring it up on the podcast because I was like, I know who else would probably enjoy this. Molly.
Mwah.
Yes.
So that reminds me, there's this, I'm also popping in with, there's this girl on X, her like username is really cool girl, but she goes on these hikes and she'll say like how many miles she walked, and it'll be like walked 15 miles today, and then it'll be like 3 photos of like nature that she's like walked through, and it's always like, she's from England, so she's always walking through like beautiful like fields or like, you know, like hills or whatever, and then like, or like London towns, and like it's so aesthetically like, I'm just like, ugh, I wish I lived in England. But then the 4th photo will be, it's like a very healthy account, like she'll say like walked 15 miles and had like a roast for dinner, and she'll post like a photo of what she ate. So it's very like, it's very soothing to look at. And I'll
it's
send
like,
you the account.
I know.
I can't.
Oh,
dang.
That's right, my account got hacked. It's like, I know this isn't like a new take, but like the English countryside seems like it hits. Second thing that I'm popping in with this week. So there's this website, and it's called Shop Your TV. And I love it because I was watching, again, Rivals, which I'll talk about, but I pull it up all the time for shows that I'm watching, because if you ever, like, you watch a show and you're just like, God,
where is that sweater from?
I love that sweater. I love that outfit. And go to Shop Your TV. Most popular shows, they have it. They have the exact link. And sometimes it'll be like, oh, this is really expensive. But sometimes it'll be like, oh, this is from, I don't know, Zara or something for $15. And you're like, cool. Fantastic. So take a look. You ever want to know?
Love to know where a lot of cozy sweaters are from.
Yes, the cozy sweaters. I found an Irish knit one on Depop for like $20. So nobody go buy that from me. But.
There's a lot of like Shiv's outfits in Succession that I would love to find where those are from.
Those are
but
definitely
I'm sure
on
they're
Shop Your
insane.
TV.
Yeah.
Well, I think sometimes they'll give you like alternate options too.
Yeah. All of her like wedding outfits, like not her wedding, but like her mom's wedding.
Oh yeah.
The outfits in that episode were phenomenal. Anyway.
Well, speaking of
Sarah Snook.
Yeah. She got some nominations, as did some others, because they just released the Emmy nominations for 2026.
And, you know, this really is the kickoff. Well, it's not the kickoff. I guess we celebrated the Oscars earlier this year. Golden Globes, everything else. Okay, we're not really kicking off. But I feel like
award season does start with the Emmys and ends with the Oscars.
And you know what?
That's the calendar.
Thank God. Not thank God. We both enjoyed this show, but, like, thank God that Adolescence is like out of the award season. But you know what I found out? That some shows, and I don't think this was the case for Adolescence because that was like a Netflix like drop, but I don't know, fact check me on this, but I saw somewhere where it's like only certain episodes of Widow's Bay are nominated because it was like it aired like during the cutoff date. So then like I think like later episodes can be nominated like next year, which is I don't know if it's a tactic or like
I don't know. The rules are strange because, and we'll get into this when we talk about, like, snubs, but I know some people were like, oh, Heated Rivalry didn't get nominated for anything, and apparently...
Well, I knew they wouldn't.
Yeah, but it also, they can't. Because,
right, that's what I meant, yeah.
There's, like, a rule that TV shows backed by a production companies outside of the U.S. are ineligible for Primetime Emmy Awards.
It's Canadian.
It was Canadian, whereas, like, if you think about Schitt's Creek, it had, like, an American production company as one of the companies behind it.
As one of them? Because I always wondered, like, you know how Schitt's Creek wasn't really nominated until it went to Netflix? And so I was like, maybe it was because it was a Canadian show, and then when it went to Netflix, it was, like, an American distribution. I don't know,
maybe.
But I could be wrong about that.
There was something in it that, like, it had an American, like, backer.
Because I was confused about Heated Rivalry, and I was thinking of Schitt's Creek. I was like, well, why was Schitt's Creek always nominated?
Yeah.
Because Heated Rivalry... So their way of, I guess we'll start with that one really quick. Heated Rivalry was not, and I don't think I would have necessarily nominated the show itself, but I definitely would have at least nominated Connor's story. Like, to me, his acting is very good in that show, and I think they try to make up for that by nominating him for SNL. Which he was funny in, but there were also other people from SNL that I thought were like other guest hosts, so I think they definitely, that was their way, like, around it.
Speaking of snubs, I want to get into the biggest one. And I know it's going to sound like I'm biased because I love this show, but, like, everyone has been being, like, talking about how this is the biggest snub is Industry.
Yeah, that never gets nominated.
And everyone is like, they don't understand. They're like, this is one of the greatest shows on television. It is so well written. It's so well done.
And it's HBO, so it's weird.
But it never gets nominated for some reason. And again, I'm not just saying this because I love the show. Like, everything I read, like, as soon as it came out, people were just like, they didn't nominate industry, especially like this past season was fantastic. It was like one of the best seasons. Like, it was just so good. And it's shocking to me. Like, the acting is fantastic, the writing,
Who's the main actress again?
Her name's Mayala, I think. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly.
I'm also surprised that Kit Harington, just for being Kit Harington, wouldn't be nominated.
And yes, and he really acted his ass off in this season.
I love Kit Harington. I mean, he was always nominated for Game of Thrones, so I'm surprised that they wouldn't. Also, Ken, I don't know how to say his last name, Lang.
Oh, he plays Eric Tao in the show, I think.
Really like that actor a lot, and I think he's really good. And I saw a lot of people say they were surprised that, like, he deserves nominations.
And I don't know what it is. It's, like, such an Emmys. Like, it is.
Yeah.
And I know,
there's
like,
certain shows that...
I know you hate when people compare it to Succession. It's not, like... Succession is, like, a perfect show. But I'm, like, in terms of just, like, the level of... like, the topic, the subject matter, like, the way it's written, the weird humor and stuff. I'm like, this is, like on par with it, and I don't understand why it doesn't get like acknowledged.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I always felt that way about I mean, there's a couple shows that I always felt that way about. I always wondered if Peaky Blinders was one that maybe couldn't get nominated because it was like purely... But British shows can be nominated for Emmys, right?
Yeah, they just have to have some sort of, like, American,
I wonder
think,
if
like...
Peaky Blinders didn't, although it did go on Netflix. I don't know.
It was a Netflix original series,
It wasn't, no. I thought it was BBC.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
But that was one where I was like, why didn't that ever get nominated? Like, why wouldn't Cillian Murphy, like, as award, like, he is always nominated for, but, like, for that show, like, he never was. And I'm like, that was some of the best acting I've, like, ever seen was from him. And... so I wonder if maybe that was the case, but I feel like there's just some shows where they just, for some reason, like, I don't know if they just don't campaign or something or what, but yeah.
Even Outlander, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think, like, even for costume design, which those costumes are fantastic.
I don't think it did. And that's always, and it's funny because I do think that could kind of, it shouldn't, but I think that could also, like, you guys would talk about Outlander so much, and I'm like, well, I never see it at award shows, and I was like, was it good or, like... because of that, I always was like, is it a good show? Not that is the basis for...
And we'll get into this because sometimes with the Emmys, with the Oscars, I'm like, okay, normally I'm like, yes, that movie should be nominated. With the Emmys, there's some stuff, like, that I'm just like, why is this nominated? Like, this is not that good.
Well, I want to talk about Sarah Snook because as an amazing of an actress as she is, and I love Dakota Fanning, that show that they were in was, like... not good, I didn't think. What was it called?
All Her Fault?
All Her Fault. I was going to say All's Fair, which, by the way, All's Fair is nominated for, like, 2 or 3 Emmy Awards, which was, like, probably the worst show, like, ever made.
What categories?
Not, like, acting, I don't think. But it was nominated. It had, like, 3 nominations, and I saw somebody be like, an industry has none. Like, but anyway, I think, like, some shows where I'm like, All's Fair, I don't understand how that got nominated. Or, sorry. All Her Fault, I didn't really think, like, maybe the acting was good. I think Sarah Snook just is immediately they're going to be, like, nominated.
Sarah Snook, her acting towards, like, the end of it, and also throughout it, was fantastic.
Yeah, of course. But I didn't think the show was
as someone who watched the show, I liked the show for what it was, but it wasn't anything, I was like, okay, this is, like, this typical, like, wealthy people murder mystery. Also, like, go back and listen to our episode about it, but, like, very, like, hit the hammer on the head.
Yes,
like,
exactly. Like it to me it was like a Peacock show. And and it kind of reminded me of this show like Apples Never Fall. It also had Jake Lacey in it. It had Sam Neill, which R.I.P. Sam Neill. But he it was like the same, it was a similar show where it just like the writing just like wasn't necessarily, you know, very good actors in it, but it wasn't necessarily like a good show. You know what I mean?
And that's how I also feel about The Beast in Me, where like the actors were very good, but that was also a show where I was like, that was fine.
Yeah, I told you I started the first episode, and then I was like, I'm watching too many Matthew Rhys things at one time. Let me just focus my attention on one thing.
Shout out to him. He's in two Bigly, not Bigly. I don't know, is that a word?
Two, I don't think Bigly is a word. Aw, but it's a cute word.
Thank you.
Nonetheless, I actually really like it. I might start saying it now.
Okay. But you knew what I was getting at, right?
Reminds me of like Pugsley from the Addams Family.
Okay.
Anyway. He is nominated in the top 2 like best oh my god, no one can speak right now. Best drama, best actor in a drama, and best actor in a comedy.
Yes. For Widow's Bay and The Beast in Me.
Which I could see him winning for Widow's Bay.
Yeah. And also I will say, having seen him in The Beast in Me and then seeing Widow's Bay, I'm like, oh, he's fantastic because his range is really good.
He's amazing. I actually think he's like maybe one of the best actors I've like ever seen.
Yeah. And his wife is also nominated. So shout out to them.
The diplomat, Carrie Russell.
Yeah.
And did you see that they posted like a photo of them like at a bar and they were like cheersing, and I was like, but they're so cute.
Which I think I texted you. I didn't know they were married because we were talking about this on the podcast when we were talking about how old we thought he was.
And I was like, yeah, because Carrie Russell is probably, and you were just like, oh, I guess.
Yeah, I remember thinking, I was like, weird, but yeah.
Really, I feel like, because I don't know, I actually never really saw Matthew Rhys in anything before Widow's Bay. Well, like, other than, like, maybe a movie. But I hadn't really seen him in anything. And so but the only thing I knew about them was that they were together.
Yeah. I just, I don't know if he will win, but I hope he does. There's certain ones where they're, like, contenders that I'm just, like, some of them, like, oh, it would be nice if this person won. But, like for example, like, Jean Smart got nominated again for Best Actress in a Comedy, and there are other ones, like I think Lisa Kudrow, I would love to see her win, but I'm like, Jean Smart deserves it. And like,
do you watch the Lisa Kudrow show?
No, but I love her.
Really?
And I want to watch it.
I think she's fine.
Interesting.
Like, she's not somebody I ever think about, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I like her as a person and an actress.
When I was little, I used to love her.
Oh.
That cat song she sang.
Oh, Smelly Cat?
Yeah. It's a tough one because, like, I think Hacks, because it is the final season, I think, like, they probably will want to give them all the awards. But then I'm like, ugh, I loved Widow's Bay so much. It was such a unique show.
Yes.
And it was one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. I'd love to see Patricia win, the actress that plays Patricia win. I can't remember her name right now. I'm sorry. Kate O'Flynn. I would love to see her win, but I think, like, Hannah Einbinder will probably win, because they'll probably, like, want to give them awards.
And the thing is, like, if you, like, had seen this previous season, I will say, like, but it's tough because a lot of these categories, there are some where I'm just like, okay, I'm shocked these, like, we were talking about, like, these got nominated. Then some of these categories, I'm like, I would be happy if any of these people won. Yeah. They all deserve it. You know what I mean?
One snub I thought was interesting was, so if you look at, like, The Bear, I think The Bear got some nominations. Io Adebari was nominated for Best Actress in a Comedy, which, I'll be honest, after watching this last season, I think I've come to the conclusion I don't maybe think she's a very good actress. And if you've seen her in other movies, all of her movies are actually terrible. So
can I be real?
And I like her as a person. I've realized, I'm like, wait, are we giving her awards for no reason?
From the first season of The Bear, I thought everyone was freaking out over her.
She tricked me.
And I was like, she's fine.
I think all the fanfare, like, all the, like, nominations and wins and stuff, like, actually tricked me because I thought she was good. And then it's like, when I watch her in, like, movies and when I see, like, in later seasons of The Bear, she does the same thing where she's like, she just, like, stutters over herself. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, this is, like, not good acting. And she's the only one nominated. Eben is not nominated. Jeremy Allen White is actually not nominated either, which is crazy. He's, like, won multiple. But I think, like,
clear, this is for not this most recent season, but it'll be for the season previous. The nominations.
Oh, actually, I don't think I knew that. Yeah. But that makes sense, duh. But still, I mean, and I did not think season 4. So maybe next season, because you know what? I was kind of thinking, I know you didn't watch the last season. I already talked about this, but Jeremy Allen White has, like, a scene at the very end of the show where it's, like, kind of this long monologue. And I was just like, I'm ready for this show to be over. But I was like, I'm surprised he wasn't nominated for that scene alone. But also, I'm like, I think people are just kind of over The Bear. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, as we all know, I've been over it for a while.
But I thought it was interesting. She was the only, at least in between the three of them, and they've always, like, won in the past.
I think I'm happy to see The Bear kind of, like, on its way out in terms of Emmys nominations. I just don't think, like, and again, I think she's fine. I think she is fine as an actress. I'm, like, not losing my mind over her or anything. No. Also, something strange. This is how, like, I have my Emmys. I have snubs, then I have surprises, parentheses, bad. Surprises, uncategorized. Surprises, good. Okay, so shockingly, this is interesting. So Your Friends and Neighbors, it got nominated for Best Drama, but it got no other nominations.
Like,
which
John Hamm wasn't nominated?
No, it got literally not for anything. Not a single other thing, which rarely happens. Like, if you get nominated for Best Drama, it's like, you're getting a bunch of other things.
That is weird. I'm surprised John Hamm wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think that show, I actually don't really like that show.
I'm surprised it got nominated. I haven't been, like, I started season 2, I keep forgetting about it. And the thing is, I enjoyed season 1, but I was like, that's fine. But that brings me back to...
Season 1 didn't even get me, and I love John Hamm.
Let's talk about Apple TV for a second, because they're really, if you look at these Emmys categories, so
they're like the new HBO.
Yeah, Your Friends and Neighbors, you have Widow's Bay, Margot's Got Money Trouble, Shrinking, Pluribus, Slow Horses,
which that got a ton of nominations.
Yep. And then I think there's like one or two more that I'm forgetting, but I'm like, I can't think of another streaming platform that has like is sweeping really the nominations like that.
Yeah, I mean HBO has The Pitt, so The Pitt got probably, I think The Pitt may have gotten the most.
It did. It got definitely insane, which for this second season I thought was
How
fine.
did you feel? So I saw a lot of people talking about, like, I guess Taylor Dearden.
Oh, yes.
Was nominated among other people, but I saw a lot of people being like, did she really deserve, like, a lot, I don't watch this show, so I can't speak on it, but you can. So I'm curious, like, how you felt about some of the nominations. Did you feel like it was deserved, or did you feel like they were just, like, genuinely just, like, nominating every single person?
I think they were just genuinely nominating every single person. I think she would have deserved it for, like, season 1, but season 2, like I talked about when we covered it, it just felt like they put in so many storylines, and then they also added new characters, and then also you have, like, these storylines that are happening within their shift.
Yeah.
But it was, like, I felt like none of the actors or, like, their storylines got, like, fleshed out enough to where I'm, like, this is...
I saw a lot of, like, guest actors. Like, yeah. I don't know. So I think that may have actually gotten the most nominations, but then it was, like, Pluribus, Widow's Bay. Yeah.
Which I do think Rhea Seehorn will win. Absolutely.
I always thought, like, she should have won for Better Call Saul, so I do think she, like, if she did win, it'd be, like, deserved, because she's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Also, George Mason alum.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I thought it, Pop Culture Happy Hour said this well, where they were like, if they could, because again, if you don't know, the show is basically like, she's basically kind of like the last person on Earth with all these like
people. Like a hive mind show.
Yeah, and they were like, if they could give an award to someone who's like truly this whole show you carried on your back, it would be her. Like, she is the whole, like, there's entire episodes where it's like just her basically.
I think there's another actress from the show who's nominated. There's like a few people nominated.
Yeah, probably, but it's like she really like was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think Widow's Bay got 19 overall nominations, which I am so pleased with.
There were a lot of actors from that show that I wasn't even expecting that got nominated.
Especially now knowing that, like you were saying, that it was basically only for half the season.
Yeah.
So props to them.
But it must have been at least for that flashback episode, because she, what's her name?
Betty Gilpin.
And Hamish something.
Oh, yeah.
Actor.
Yeah. Jonathan Hamish? Is that his name? Something Hamish. Yeah. But he was in Midnight Mass. Yeah. He was also in The New Adventures of Old Christine.
Okay. He's also Lily Rabe's husband, which I actually had no idea.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's random.
I didn't know that until recently.
But good for him. I do really like him as an actor, and I am glad to see, because I feel like I liked him in The New Adventures of Old Christine in like 2006, and then never heard from him again. And then he was in Midnight Mass, and I was like, fantastic.
Hamish Linklater.
Yeah. And also another surprise, Chase Infinity got nominated for The Testaments, which I still need to watch.
And I thought that was interesting. Again, that's one where I'm like, I wonder if they were making up for
the Oscars.
Yeah, because I was like,
but did the Emmys and the Oscars really like have the same voting pool nominations?
They don't, but I could see people like, and it's all about campaigning too. Yeah. So I could see them like really pushing for her, because and she's an amazing actress. I don't watch The Test. I didn't watch Handmaid's Tale, so
which I plan to watch The Testaments. Great. I'm just trying to read the book first, but I probably will just watch it. I've heard she does a really great job, but I love her. So
was the show itself nominated?
I don't know. I don't remember.
One snub that to me is not like a snub because it didn't deserve it, but I saw like Stranger Things usually gets at least nominated like for best drama, and I think this time it didn't get nominated for like a single thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm like,
fair.
When you use ChatGPT to write your script, I think we're good on that one.
Another snub that I felt like validated in was Lord of the Flies. Like, people were surprised that it didn't get really nominated for anything because it is like, it keeps being like on these like culture lists for like magazines where like shows you need to watch. It keeps getting listed as like one of the best shows of the year.
That one.
And watching it, I was like, this is perfect, like Emmy's like material. It's like so well done. But
so I thought that about Half Man.
I thought about you
because Richard Gadd was nominated, which if anybody from the show is nominated, he definitely, if anything,
best actor, right?
I think so, yeah. Or best actor. He definitely does deserve it. He was amazing in it. But Jamie Bell was not nominated, which I think, like, he was doing all the round table stuff. You know, when, like, they do, like, the round table, like, Hollywood Reporter round tables with, like, actors who it's, like, they're probably going to be nominated. I noticed, I always find it cringy when they're, like, in that, and then it's, like, they don't get nominated. Yeah. And I'm like, damn. And I thought he would have. Like, he was very good in that show. I thought the show itself would at least get nominated, but it didn't. But again, like, I think if anyone from the show were to be, like, Richard Gadd for sure. Yeah. So he at least did, but yeah, I thought the show would get way more.
I did too, just based on people's early predictions.
Yeah.
And again, there's like certain shows that I'm just like, okay, like Shrinking got a bunch of nominations, and I watched like the first season and a half of that. It was fine.
That's just a show. It's always recommended to me, but I'm never, and I love like the creators of it. Like I love Brett Goldstein, but I just am not ever interested in watching. I didn't know he
was the creator.
I think he writes it, yeah. And I think he's in it too.
Yeah, I think he was in this previous season. Slow Horses gets nominated every year.
I've never watched that. And I love Gary Oldman. Jack Lowden is a great actor, and he's been nominated this season. But
I always think I should watch it because it keeps, like, every year it keeps getting nominated.
It kind of looks boring to me.
Yeah, it does.
Like, and especially it's been on for, like, 6 seasons. I just don't know if it's something I can really, like get into. But
yeah. Mark Ruffalo got nominated for Task.
But I saw the show didn't.
Yeah, which is surprising to me.
I was surprised by that too.
But I am glad that Mark Ruffalo, he definitely, for his role in that, I was like, he definitely deserves to get nominated. Yeah. I think Noah Wyle is going to win. Not unfortunately, but...
See, that's where it's like, I'm kind of ready for, like, The Pit and Hacks to kind of, like, move on because they are just... Yeah. It's like, it's the same people winning over and over, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, and that happened when, like, I didn't feel that way with, like, Breaking Bad, where I'm like, yeah, they deserve it every season. But I guess, like, because I don't watch these shows, I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for, like, new shows to...
Yeah. Well, even, like, The Pit, which I do watch and enjoy, I'm just kind of like, even last year, Noah Wyle versus Adam Scott, I think Adam Scott should have...
I know.
But it's just the subject matter, too, and... Noah Wyle is a great actor, but I was surprised because he's had some problematic... cancellations.
I was wondering if you knew about that because I feel like I read about it a lot, but I've never heard you talk about it.
I only know about it from you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when we talked about it at whatever point it was.
Yeah. So. Yeah, people don't like him.
From my primary source, Molly.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, those are my, like, I think main thoughts on, like, Emmy nominations. I'm curious, like, there are definitely, you know, we always do our pool. We always, like, you know, do our little competition. There's a lot of them that I'm like, I don't know who I would vote for this.
Do we know when the Emmys are?
They are September 14th, yes. But anyways, so let us know what you guys think. We're excited. If you want to, you know, vote along with us come September, let us know.
Oh, and you know what else got a lot of nominations, but we didn't watch it, was Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Margot's Got Money Trouble got nominated, and I was kind of surprised. Like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine.
So, I also know that I would just think it's fine. Yeah. And it's not, like, something that really caught my, like, attention, but I knew from just the cast that it would get nominated. Yeah. Like, but you know what I love? Dakota and Elle Fanning's parents must be so proud of them, because they both were nominated.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I have an Emmy.
Oh, yeah.
I am an Emmy winner.
Wow. We are
part
in
of
the presence of a winner.
Yeah, but I don't have the trophy.
Where is it?
I don't know. They never sent it. I don't know who they sent it to.
That's annoying.
It is very annoying.
Okay, I wonder if you can, like...
I'm not even sure if they had an actual...
And you can request it, you know? Like, retroactively.
It may have just been, like, a certificate. I don't even know if they have, like... Yeah. Like, actual statues for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably not.
It's probably one of those things where, like, you have to pay for the statue, whereas, like, Noah Wyle isn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think he's paying for the statue, and if he did, I would pay. I would pay for an award.
Oh yeah, I absolutely would.
I'd be campaigning and paying. For everything. So that's the Emmy nominations.
Let's get into something that also wasn't nominated for an Emmy.
Oh,
Love Island.
I think it normally is, right? Like,
actually, I don't think it usually is, which is fine.
Well, for like competition show, it's not.
I don't think so. The Traitors usually is.
I know, and that's the only thing I can think of. It's like a cooking
Yeah.
show in The Traitors.
Yeah, like Top Chef or Survivor usually is too.
But, you know, I'd be surprised that... So we're talking about Love Island Season 8, which
Yeah.
you're going to fill us in on. But I was going to say, I'm surprised that Love Island wouldn't be nominated just for, like, the pure, like... You know, sometimes I think, like, the execution of something. Like, it's a unique... Well, unique and... You're watching the US version, which is based on the UK version. But, like, I think it's an interesting concept that there's certain things that could be...
It is. And the production value is crazy because, again, I can't remember if it was you or someone else.
That's crazy
when
work.
I was explaining, like we're sitting here, not right now, but when it was going on, and, like, what's happening in the villa is happening currently.
Yeah.
And then
they're
we're going to
tonight.
see it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy.
Can you imagine?
Especially the amount of cameras, like, and angles and what they're picking up and stuff. So season 8, so I started watching last year with season 7. Then I went back and watched season 6, which is still, like, one of the best seasons. But season 8, I think, started out very slow. People were complaining. They were like, everyone was so locked into their couples immediately. No one was, quote unquote, exploring, which is, like, what makes it interesting when you kind of, like, switch up a little bit. Like, literally, the final 4 people were people who had been in their couples since almost day 1.
That's
except for,
so
like, one of the
boring.
couples or something. Yeah.
Were there any, like, characters?
I think so. Not as much as... I feel like we had a lot more, like, viral quotes and moments, like, last season and the season before. But I think there were definitely... So it picked up, though, because there was, like, the scene that I told you, like, with the fight that we talked about, where, like, it came after... Casa Amor basically is, like, halfway through the show, where you're in your couple, and then, like, the boys will go to a different house, and there's, like, all new, like, hot girls there, and a bunch of all new hot guys come into the house for the, like, original girls or whatever. And it's like, do you still want to be with, like, your original couple, or do you want to be with, like, one of these hot new people? But you don't know what's going on with them in theirs, and they don't know what's going on with you in yours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this season, they did it a little bit differently, and I think it's because I think Love Island is such a unique view into, like, our cultural sentiments as a society, because, like, you can see throughout, like, the last 3 seasons, just almost like this, like, with the men specifically, this, and a little bit with the women, like, this, like, kind of, like, red pill, like, incel language that's, like, kind of seeping in, where it's, like, the men this season were so shitty, like, for most of the season.
What was that one guy's name?
Sincere.
Yeah.
Yes, which you will call him sinister. He was a manipulative liar and
not sincere.
Yeah, and I'll talk about, like, how they really, like, I'm like, I think maybe next year, like, they deserve something for the way they did this, because it was really boring and they really turned it around. But so they did for the girls, I don't think they've ever done this before. When they went to Casa Amor, they did, like, a live screening of what was going on with the boys and their new girls, so the old girls could watch it. Because the girls are so locked into their couples, they were like, we're not going to explore, we're not going to do whatever. Meanwhile, we all know, because we can see the guys on their own, we're like, they suck, they're going to leave you, they're going to fuck around with these girls, and then they'll come back to you, and they'll manipulate you. Which is what they still, which is crazy, because it's like these girls saw these guys being shitty, and still they were like, no, I still want to be with this person. But you can see, like, in the language, especially there was one guy, like KC, where I'm like, originally people really liked him. He was with one of the original girls in the beginning. And then when he went to Casa Amor, he became, like, a completely different person. He kept calling his original girl a grandma. They would say, like, oh, the girls in the villa are, like, high school girls, and the girls in Casa are, like, college girls. And there were certain things where it's like, he very clearly was upset that his couple was not, like, doing anything sexual with him. And it's like, you're not entitled to her body. Like, you're supposed to be here to form connections. And it's just, like, the way where he was like, they, like, the language that they use, where they're just like, it's like you're clearly listening to some kind of weird manosphere, like, inspirational podcast. And it's not that they're necessarily, like, full manosphere, but it's, like leaking into, like, their language, and also, like, how they treat women. And I think it's interesting also because the women, I think, are still, like, lifting up these men. So it was a whole thing where Sincere... So Sincere and Melanie were, like, the 2 biggest characters of the season, because Sincere was so, like, his lies were insane. Like, and you're watching him lie to her, like, you see him do something, he lies to her almost immediately, but she can't see what we're seeing, right? But the other people can. And it got to the point where movie night is basically like, they don't do this every season. They didn't do it last season, but is basically they do movie night where they show clips from earlier in the season that none of the Islanders have seen. And they went hard. They broke it up into two episodes, and they I think Sincere had a full 7 minutes of his clips, where there's one where he's like literally calling Melanie beloved, and then he calls this new bombshell beloved back to back. Like, people literally the men were even just like, oh my God, like looking at him like he is a sociopath, like he is a manipulative liar, when you see just like the way. But the thing is, that's crazy, is she still went back to him. Even on Family Day, her family comes, they are like, his dad rips him a new asshole and is like, you are embarrassing me on live television. This is not how we act. This is not how a man acts. I wouldn't want you to even sit next to me at a table, type of thing.
God.
Her sister is like in tears, being like, leave this man. Her mother says this beautiful quote. She's like, and she says it in Spanish, which even makes it sound so much better. But she's like, why are you giving this man multiple chances when someone's out there waiting for the first chance? Still goes back to him. And I think people are really harsh on her. I'm like, you have to remember, she's like 24.
Yeah.
Okay? And also, like, if you've never been in a toxic relationship before, like, it's hard to understand the fact that you're just like, I'm just going to go back to this person.
Toxic, but it's like, haven't they known each other for like a week?
Yeah, by this point, but the thing is, people always joke, they're like, oh, it's been 3 days, but you have to also
remember, living together in every waking second.
Yeah, they literally, they have no phones, they have no books, they have no movies. All there is to do is to get to know this person and make connections. And the difference between, people were saying, like, Love Island UK versus US, where UK is not as, like, kind of like sexualized, whereas like US, right out the gate, the first like challenge that they did was like, you know, it'd be like someone's on your side of the door and like you're on their side of the door if you're interested. So it'd be like maybe 3 girls to 1 guy, and the guy would have to make out with like all 3 girls, or vice versa. So they're all like just like swapping so much like spit and sexual energy, which I think like grows your connection even more. And I think like it's hard also because, like, that's the only thing you're in there to do and to think about and to talk about. Like, you don't really talk about, like, anything else, really. Which I was joking with friend of the pod, Tanya. I was like, I would get kicked out of this villa so fast because the conversations, I would be like, they're talking about, like, oh, their connections and blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, do you think that if humans had gestational periods the same length as elephants, that we would maybe come out with a greater ability to walk? And you would, and, like, that would be my conversation starter.
What?
Like, if we had longer gestational periods, do you think, like, humans would be more acceptable? I'm like, that's what I'd be talking about.
Because I guess baby elephant, they do be, like, walking immediately.
Yeah. And I'm like, and then you would just hear that Scottish guy being, Alexa's left the villa.
Yeah.
Like, they'd be like, she's not that vibe. But I just,
like, icebreaker.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite serial killer?
Yeah. What I literally, on a work meeting, I think I asked one time, who would you assassinate in history and why?
Yeah. Who would you remove from death row?
Yeah.
And they're like,
and I'm like, that's a fun icebreaker to me.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we're supposed to be talking about, like, connections.
Yeah. That's how you connect with people.
Yeah. But it's just interesting to see, like, the manipulation. So they really, like, brought it home. And then, this is a spoiler, but not really, because it's, like, as if I told you, like, the Super Bowl result, like, it happened yesterday. Yeah. But our Newport News girl won.
I didn't know that, actually. I didn't
Really?
realize, like, who had won. I don't know names, so I just knew Newport News girl.
Her name is Trinity.
That's so exciting.
With, her boyfriend, Bryce, which he's 30. She's, like, 23. And it made me laugh when they first met. She was like, oh, my God, you're, like... She's like, I've never dated, like, an older man. She's like, so you're 30.
But that is old. Like, when you think about, like, okay, 23 and 30 are 2 very different ages.
Yeah. And especially for Love Island, that's kind of old. Yeah. And it makes me laugh because people, like, normally on Love Island, you don't call each other, like, boyfriend, girlfriend. You'd be like, oh, I'm closed off. And he was just like, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Aww.
And we were like, old-ass Bryce is out here. He's like, I don't care about this Love Island lingo. Like
Bryce, yeah. It's like, okay, he's an old man.
He's like,
I'm is he cute? Like, is he nice?
He is. I really like him.
Okay.
And he has, like, he had some of the funniest quotes. He's the one who was like, there's no real moral paragon in this place right now, which is like, everyone was like, whoa. But that's another thing is like this show, people were talking about like some of the idiocy on it, where it's like some of these people maybe like seem very smart, but it's like this girl named Kata, the first episode, she was like, I'm from New Hampshire. Do you guys know where that is? And they were all like, no.
What?
They were all U.S. residents. I was like, you don't know who
They've never heard of New Hampshire?
Yeah, they were like, I'm like, you don't know where the fuck New Hampshire is? Like, they were like, what's New Hampshire?
What?
Yes, which is crazy. And then, like, sincere people were like, oh, he said he was like, you know, the epitome of this, like, experience is to do blah, blah, blah. He's trying to say epitome, which is very funny. And, like, the messing up of just, like, on one of the last episodes, Kenzie said, she was like, yeah, like, that's not really in my brother's alley park.
What?
And I just was like,
ballpark
alleyway. I'm like,
up his alley.
Yeah, I was just like,
that's really funny.
There's so many like little phrases. Like even Bryce, he was like, yeah, people, you know how you say like, oh, you have to like die on your sword?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, like I guess I'm just gonna have to like die on my shield. And then they all like picked up on that, and they would be like they'd be in their like little they'd be saying their little speech, and he's like, and I love you so much, so I'm just gonna have to die on my shield. And I was like, no, somebody tell them. But there's something just so, and like people will be like not wanting to start Love Island because they're like, it's so many episodes, but I think like what is actually ingenious about it is the way you get to know these like characters and these people. It has to be this many episodes. You feel like you know them as people.
Yeah. And
I think people were saying like the production value, there were so many less bombshells that came in. Like this season, I think there were 5, and last season there were like 10. So it's like almost the half amount. And I think it's partially because everyone was so locked in so early. Mm-hmm. But I also think it's because think of the criteria you're having to meet. They have to do like a mental test beforehand. They have to do STD testing. So they have to pass both of those. They also have to be like hot, you know, relatively. Probably within like a certain age range. Like they also have to be like comfortable with like being filmed and like, you know. Also, they had to have had no racial slurs in their past of any kind.
Right.
Which like
tough one.
Actually in America, you wouldn't think. But and I do respect Love Island for being like they're very like strict about it.
Now they are. Yeah.
No, they were last season too.
Really? I feel like it didn't happen until like they were already on the show.
Some of them, like, and it happened this season where they were already on the show, but they now, like, have whole teams of people, like, scrubbing social media accounts. But what's happening now is when someone's on the show, someone that they know will, like, release footage of them saying or doing something. How would they know that?
Which, like, is interesting, too. I can't imagine, like, having that kind of time on your hands to be, like, I want to also... I mean, they shouldn't be doing it in the first place, but also to, like, be that person that's, like, I'm going to ruin this person's, like...
Right. And also... I think it's tough with this age range because, like, everything you've ever said or done is, like, recorded. So even, like, Sierra from last year, at first I was kind of
it's
like...
It's also not that hard to not say a racial slur, though. Like, I don't understand how there's this many people who have that, like, on their socials.
Right. Like, last year with Sierra, when she got kicked off, I was, like, looking it up or whatever, and it was, like, the first time she said it, she was, like, maybe 14 or something. And I was kind of like... okay, she's a child. But then she said it again when she was like 20. So then it was like, okay. But I think also, but the problem comes is now, like, there was someone who they were trying, like, everyone was like, kick him off. But what had happened was someone had created, like, a fake account of this person and was, like, showing, like, fake DMs from them saying, like, the N-word or whatever. So now, like, we're in this age where it's like, how do you monitor that kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that, like, they're pretty strict about it. Yeah. But I imagine, I'm like, that's going to lower your criteria.
Plus, you're putting people now in, like, uncomfortable positions because they're living with them. And now you're putting people in, like, potentially unsafe or just, like, uncomfortable positions. So they do have to. But I do think it's interesting that you're right. Like, I feel like last season, I didn't watch it at all, yet I was like, okay, I know some of the characters, people. Yeah. I know, like, all the memes and the quotes, and you had, like, Mamacita and, like, all that stuff. And I feel like this season, other than Sincere, is the only person I had, like, even kind of heard about. Yeah. Otherwise, like, I never heard any, like, quotes, like, viral quotes from it. So it does feel like I can see that it might have been, like, a boring season.
Yeah. And there were but also, like, there were certain parts, again, with the fight where, like, really escalated, but then they, like, resolve it so quickly that I'm just like, I wish you had kept it. And maybe it's, like, for the good of the villa or something. I don't know.
But that's another one where I barely, like, I kind of saw stuff about it.
Yeah.
But
And the quotes are so funny because, like, you know, like, the Mamacita thing, like, it was huge. But you forget that, like, they're in the villa. This is just something
she would have no idea that would have gone viral. Yeah.
It was Nick who said it, and he came out, and everyone like people were starting to, they'd be like,
well, but she did the like, I'm a mom.
Yeah, and they would say to him, they'd be like, Mamacita, and he'd be like, what? Because he hasn't watched it. It's just something he said 2 weeks ago in a casual conversation.
But it is funny because, I mean, some of it is how things are edited, but I was just telling you a story earlier where it's like I'll sometimes say things that people think are so funny.
Yeah.
Not to like, I'm not like bragging, but you know what I mean? Like I'll, like, I don't think it's funny. Like I just say something and people are like, ha, and like quote me. And I'm like, oh, that's not even something like that funny that I said. Yeah. But I think like that happens. Sometimes people's like, people don't even realize what they're saying in the moment is going to be like iconic or funny or whatever. You just have no idea. And it's funny what sticks, you know?
Yeah. And also, I want to bring this up because I want to like start a petition for these islanders to get more bathrooms. They have like 2 showers.
That sounds like my nightmare, by the way, and for that reason.
2 toilets. And sometimes there's 20 islanders.
It's like your birthday party.
Yeah, well.
No, I was going to say... that's my nightmare. I think about with like any of these shit, like Big Brother or Love Island, where it's like you're sharing a bathroom with like so many people,
right?
In the room, right? The bathroom's probably like in the room.
Yeah,
that's like, you're an adult. Why are you in this situation?
It's crazy. But I also want to say, someone brought up a good point where they were talking about like just like the production value and how like certain parts of the show kind of people weren't into or whatever. And someone was like, okay, well, you have to realize like one of the executive producers did die in the middle of the season, and to be able to continue to like put on the show and keep it all like running when like one of the main producers passed away is kind of crazy. But they also like the thing is, their challenges are ridiculous. Like the amount of kissing and sucking and foot licking and like whatever.
Yeah,
and I don't know why they're doing that, because if you look at like the audience, everyone's like, we hate this. We fast forward through it. Why are you doing it? They do the baby bird challenge every year, which is basically like some sort of food challenge where they have to like take like literally they'll have to put all this ketchup in their mouth, and then they have to put it in their partner's mouth, and their partner has to fill up a bucket with ketchup. This year they took it to another level where it was like they were in a grocery store. It was like they had to do sardines, pickled eggs, they had to do baked beans, like things like that, where it's just like disgusting.
Not only is that gross, but I also, this is another reason I don't watch these shows. Like, I don't care about challenges. Like, I don't watch stuff like that. Like, I don't, like, that's not interesting to me. I'd rather be, I'm more invested in, like, drama. And,
right.
Like, but anytime there's ever, like, a situation, like, on a reality show where it's, like, they're going out and doing something like very scripted and like a game or something. Like, I don't care about stuff like that.
And like people don't like, I like the challenges where it does cause drama. Like one of the most interesting ones they did was season 6. It was like a tweet challenge where basically an islander would read an anonymous tweet about another islander and people had to guess who it was about.
How did they tweet?
What do you mean?
Well, it
was a tweet from a viewer.
Oh, yeah. That's messy.
Yeah, it was, and it was great. Like, those kind of challenges, I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, they had a singing in the shower one, sponsored by Sarah V, where it was like they had to do karaoke in their couples. One of the worst things not a singer in the bunch. Also, I was like, I don't want to watch regular people do karaoke. I don't want to watch it on Love Island. It was so stupid.
But you know what the problem with the tweet thing is, like, the tweet challenge is, then I feel like it's a really interesting thing that they don't know what's going on. And so again, like where they don't know like certain, the way that they're portrayed, they have no idea how they're being portrayed.
Right.
But now if you're seeing a tweet, you could start to be like, okay, so this is how people view me. Let me act different now. Yeah. Like, I feel like that could mess up
Well, that happened last season because one of the challenges was it would be like the Islanders, like the girls had to put themselves in a line of how they think like America is ranking them. And then they revealed how America's actually ranking them.
No.
And that's when it was revealed that Amaya was, like, the number 1 girl. And after that, like, before it, like, all the guys were not really, like, about her. And after that, like, they all, like, kind of wanted to, like, seemed like they wanted to couple up with her.
That's
she did
funny.
end up winning.
Good for her. I actually love that for her. But that would, like, that's awful for the person who's in last.
Yeah. But usually the person who's in last is, like, a shitty person. So sometimes you're like, they kind of deserve that. You know what I mean? So anyways, so the reunion is going to be August 31st, which is interesting. They also did, so they did something different this year with After Sun, which is like on Saturday, it's like the night off for Love Island. So it's almost like their talk show. Mm-hmm. I never watched it because it was boring, but they did something interesting this year where they show the Islanders getting their phones back. So they're filming it. like because when you leave the island, you have to go on After Sun, which comes on Saturday. So they have like, you're in your hotel room and you're getting your phone back for the first time, seeing what everyone's been saying.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting. And they had it hosted by Sierra from Summer House and Teffy.
Okay.
Who is like a famous online person. I don't know.
You know what I would love is like, okay, so Ariana Maddox hosts the show, right? And she, I imagine, she doesn't stay in the villa. She probably stays at like a hotel nearby.
Yeah.
That would be an ideal job for me, is like hosting the show, not being involved in the drama, but like getting to like sort of like not stir the pot, but she's just outside the drama and she doesn't have to stay there.
Yeah.
That would be an
and
ideal
also
job.
like she only comes on maybe once a week at best.
Yeah.
Like she's not really doing like that much. But when she was there when the whole fight happened, and that was enjoyable.
That's fun.
Yeah. But anyways, so I'll be watching the reunion. I'm so happy for Trinity and Bryce.
Trinity and Trice.
People call them, their couple names, Brinity.
Okay, that's cute. I actually like that name, first of all.
And maybe I'm like, if they're in Newport News, if they do anything, I'll go.
I know, they probably will.
I hope so.
I wonder if they'll move to Newport News.
I know. Well, she described on the first episode, she was like, I'm from a small town in Virginia. Everyone's like, you're from Newport News.
Yeah, that's not a small town.
Certifiably a city.
It's a city, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so I enjoyed it. I look forward to it. I was very excited.
Okay, well, we did get a response to our question of the week, which if you want to answer our question of the week, follow us at Poppin' In Podcast. We post our timestamps and our question of the week every week, and you can interact with us, maybe get your answers read on the show.
We want to know your thoughts.
The episode. But Ty said shit sucked for most of the season. Cry face.
Yeah, I could tell he wasn't super into it when we were chatting, and that's fair.
Yeah.
On to some other love drama.
Okay, so this is interesting because I feel like we sort of just talked about this in a roundabout way a little bit recently after reading Lena Dunham's book.
Yeah.
Or we talked about them as a couple.
And this is another thing that happened, like, it's like we record
and
then
literally as soon as we recorded.
So I want you to know, like, we're not...
It's not that we're late. It's just that things happen on Monday nights at like 10 or 11 p.m. and we've already recorded.
Crazy.
So Margaret Qualley and Jack Antonoff have apparently split up after 3 years of marriage.
Wow.
Had no idea it was 3 years. It's actually, it's me and Matthews.
I feel like
they must have gotten married the same.
Wow, yeah, actually.
But so it's kind of so this kind of came up after Taylor's wedding because I guess Jack was there, but Margaret wasn't, and people noticed that, and so he brought his sister Rachel. But apparently Margaret...
Who set up Lena and Jack.
Right, yep. Interesting. And Lena was there. She gave like a speech apparently, which we've already talked about. But we thought from the beginning, we're like, wow, this is going to be wild that like Lena Dunham's there, Jack Antonoff's going to be there with Margaret Qualley. Well, Margaret wasn't there.
Yeah.
And apparently she wasn't like working that weekend either, so there were no like conflicts, like conflicting schedules, but I'm not sure how people keep track of that. That's kind of insane.
Maybe it was time for her older person to come out, like via the
yeah,
substance.
Demi Moore.
Yeah.
But also like people notice that Margaret, it feels weird just calling her Margaret.
Do you think she goes by Maggie?
I've never heard that.
Marge?
She looks like a No. She looks like a Margaret.
Yeah, she
which
does.
was actually almost my name. Fun fact.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
I don't see that. But anyway, I see me as a Maggie, unfortunately. Sorry. I don't like love that name. But anyway, people also noticed that Margaret archived all her wedding photos from her Instagram.
I love when that happens to like someone you know. Do you know what I mean? Where you like sort of know. Like they're like a couple, like it's like someone you went to college with, you knew freshman year, and you're just like, what are they up to? And you're like, whoa, no, their wedding photos disappeared.
But I also think, I mean, maybe wedding would be different, but I'm just like, I don't think I'd go through and archive photos to like hide something from my life. I'd just be like, well, this happened in my life, and now it's not. Like I don't know, but anyway, so she did that, and people obviously noticed that. People are crazy. But I guess most people, I don't know, that's not like that small.
If you're already like, why aren't they together? You would go to her Instagram and then you'd be like, it's weird.
But people knowing like, okay, why wasn't she there? She had no it's like, how do you know her schedule?
Yeah.
Maybe she had a dentist appointment.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But then it was, so it was pretty rumored that they had split up. Apparently Jack was seen without his wedding ring. And then it was kind of confirmed on Friday, July 10th. A rep for Margaret Qualley released a statement acknowledging their separation. saying, and they kind of went off. They said the narratives running in this press about Margaret and Jack are categorically untrue. There are no trust issues. There was no infidelity or anything outside of respect and partnership in this relationship. They have deep love and care for one another. There are only two people in this marriage, and the sources who are talking to the press and commenting on their relationship are not people who know them. Please respect their privacy. Because I guess people had been saying, like, oh, there was, like, infidelity and, you know, all that. But, yeah, I mean, that's kind of all there is to it, that they're split up. Lana Del Rey's song Margaret was about them. So there goes that song.
Yeah, exactly. I heard that Lorde released a song about him recently. And I have unconfirmed this. And then also with the Lena Dunham book, people are like, oh, that probably doesn't have anything to do with it. But I'm like, the timing is suspicious, is it not? But I did hear, like, people saying sources close to the couple have said it's always been a tumultuous relationship.
Whenever there's, like, a sources, well, I don't know.
What?
Well, I was just going to say, because I didn't let you finish what you were going to say and it ended up being negative, but I was going to say whenever it's, like, sources close to the couple, I'm like, well, that's just them, like, putting out the news. But I mean, I could imagine that because we were kind of talking about this a little bit yesterday, but, and we talked about this on the podcast too, but, like, you described Jack Antonoff, he just seems like a wet blanket. He seems like somebody who, like, I can kind of see through him. He seems like he's, like, the nice guy, sensitive guy, but I was like, I bet he's actually not a great person.
Yeah, and then he, like, says, like, he is the character on Too Much. Like, he will say things probably that's just, like, makes, like, they're not insults, but they're also, like, not compliments. Like, they kind of will make you weirdly feel bad about yourself over time. To be him. Yeah, it is. Again, I don't know him or her, so this is just me having seen basically mainly like photos.
And she's really somebody who I don't know. Like, I can't get a feel. Like, you know how some people you're like, okay, I know who Lena Dunham is. Like, I don't get a feel for who Margaret Qualley is really. She seems like chill maybe, but I don't know what she's. But he seems like the kind of guy that, like, if you were to be he's probably going through stuff all the time. He's probably always, like, emotionally, like, whatever. But if you were to go through something, I feel like he would not be, he would not handle it well.
I could see
I get that vibe from him.
How old are they? I mean, he's got to be in his 30s.
She's in her 20s. Let me look.
He's got to be in his 30s. Because, I mean, if him and Lena Dunham was 40, so.
He's 42.
Oh, my God.
I actually didn't know that.
And he's also, like, there's always these guys where, like, they're fine looking. They're just, like, and they're also, personality is fine, but they somehow always are, like, pulling tens.
I know. And, again, I think that's, like, he's the sensitive artist. And it's like, well, actually. So I, this whole time, thought she was, like, 25. She's 31.
Oh, wow. Okay. Was she born in 95?
94.
I was going to say Hermie and Dua Lipa.
Was born in Montana. What were they doing in Montana?
I don't know, but
she wasn't born in, like, L.A. I know, that's why I'm surprised she wasn't, like, from L.A.
Andy seems like a Montana girl.
They really look alike. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
I'll never get over how her first name is Sarah. It's Sarah Margaret Qualley. I'll never get over that she, like, her voice is so wild to me. It does not match her. I always say, like, when she and Pete Davidson dated, I was like, well, that's crazy because they have the same voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have the same voice.
She's, like, interesting as a person. Like you said, like, I can't really pin her down. Or even, like, as an actress or, like...
I don't see her, like, with a personality. Do you know what I mean? Not that she doesn't have one, but I just don't know what her personality is.
Right.
She seems chill.
She doesn't seem to do a lot of interviews and stuff, and, like...
And when she has, because she's always asked... I've seen 2 interviews where she's asked about, like, either, like, Taylor Swift or, like... Lana Del Rey's song, and I always, like, see her kind of response is just like, oh yeah, it's great, like, it's cool, like, she doesn't really know how to respect. It's not like there's just nothing, like, I don't know, she seems private. Reserved. Maybe she seems reserved,
but you know what, I hope
best of luck
on to bigger and better things for both of them, you know.
For me, more so Margaret Qualley. I'm more of a fan of her work. I've never really But you never
cared. Know. You know, I'm covering my bases.
No. Yeah. I know. I meant work wise. Oh, I don't know what. I don't know their relationship at all.
Yeah. I want to get into a little show that I won't like.
Yeah, you love this show.
I love this show, and the thing is, like, I talked about the first season on the podcast. The second season, I've been waiting to come out, but it came out during Love Island, so I was kind of, like, behind. And it is hard for me when there's like a year and a half in between shows to get like back into a show. So like I kept like kind of watching like half of it. It was like my lunchtime show, and then I would kind of forget. And then by episode like 2, I was like, that's right, I love this show. And so if you don't know, I'm talking about Rivals on Hulu, Disney Plus. And it's basically based on the Jilly Cooper, very famous like British novel, which she passed away earlier this year as well, which also made like the season. She was very heavily like involved, I think, in like production, and she kind of passed away unexpectedly. But it stars, like, the biggest name you would probably recognize is David Tennant. And then it's like, it takes place in like the 80s, probably going into the 90s, and it's about these two like local television production companies kind of rivaling for like the charter. But what I like is like the rivals kind of like change both throughout the season and like based on like different episodes and stuff. The men in this show are so hot. They're very like daddy, and like the one of the main actors,
I think David Tennant's hot.
David Tennant is hot. He plays, oh my god, I loved it. You know I love David Tennant. And the thing is, he's played a bad guy before, like in, what is it, Good Omens or Bad Omens?
Good Omens.
Good Omens. He played like sort of a bad guy, but like with a heart. In this show, he is a bad guy.
Ooh.
However, he plays it in a way that you're still kind of like hoping he's gonna redeem himself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you see him do all these horrible things, all these manipulative things, but still, and I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but like the last episode, something happens that like he shows this huge level of like emotionality that you're just kind of like, oh my, like I was literally like crying. He's such a phenomenal actor. Like I can't explain it, like how he does it. And maybe it's just because like he, you know, I love him as a person, but he is phenomenal. But one of the main actors, he plays Declan O'Hara. He has been going viral, especially after this season, because people are like, okay, you are like quote unquote daddy. His name is like Aiden Turner.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
But I never know like what I know him from. I just always hear his name.
Yeah, I've definitely seen him now that I'm looking at like his picture on, like if you look up his like, this is not a good photo of him. He looks ugly. In this show, he's got like he's like 80s dad. He's hot. He's like, I don't know. But also there's Rupert Campbell Black, who's like one of the main characters as well. He's like also very hot, and he has this relationship with this girl who like, she's like 21 or whatever. And they do it so well where normally you'd be like, ew, he's like 45. But there's something where it's like these two people seem like they're soulmates kind of in a weird way, but they're not having like a sexual relationship, but there's something romantic going on, definitely.
Yeah.
The actress who plays this character, the character's name is Taggy, which is like a British nickname for
Agatha.
I thought so too. It is just Agatha, but Brits are weird.
It's kind of like Maggie being short
For
no.
Wait.
There's other names where I feel like
Peggy for Margaret.
Peggy, yeah. There you go.
But she's played by Bella McLean, and she's beautiful. They cast her so well. She has like this big, bright, open face, and she's like this girl who's like great with kids, and like she loves like baking, and she also like is dyslexic, and like she is like a very like hard on my sleeve kind of character. She was who I was looking up like her outfits, where I was just like, I love her outfits. But this is only part 1 of season 2. I didn't know that when I was watching it. Part 2 won't come out till September, which is very annoying. But I think like the what do you call it? Like the characterization in this show is phenomenal. Like I teared up multiple times. Like you get so addicted to these characters. And I also think like I think people think that I am all for it because it's like British, but it's like a certifiably good, like it's well shot, it's well written, the actors are phenomenal, the content is great. I think you would like it because like you have done like TV like production and like worked in that kind of thing. But also I think you would like it because the guys are like hot and like it's like fun. Like
I was gonna say, would you recommend it?
I would absolutely recommend it to you. It is a fun show, but also the drama, like there's like things where you're just like, oh my god, like what's going to happen? Like there's this secret that's happening. I'm not going to say what it is, but you're thinking like, oh, this person is coming to tell the secret, like, and you're just watching the whole episode being like, what's going to happen? And but there's also like I think I texted you where it's like, have you ever been really proud of like a fictional character? And there's this character on the show. He is gay, but it's the 80s, so he's closeted, and his like lover is running for office. So he's like basically engaged to this woman who's like his beard, I guess. And so they have like a little secret affair, but they're putting on a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and the guy who plays Bottom can't like go on. And someone realizes like, oh, this guy knows all the words. Like he's like, you know, he works in production. He's like mouthing it. So he goes on, he plays bottom. He gives like a breathtaking performance. Everyone loves it. And then backstage, his like secret gay lover comes to like congratulate him. And the first guy like bursts into tears and he explains that his mom actually passed away that morning. And him and his mom are like super close. Like she had been ailing. He's an only son. They lived together. He had been taking care of her. And he was like, but I couldn't take off work because David Tennant, the bad guy, is his boss. And he's like, I definitely would have been like fired for that.
Wait, who's the first guy?
The first guy, he is a gay guy who's like older and he works for one of the companies. And he's the one who played bottom, and then his mom died.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And you're just like, he starts crying, and you just like feel, and he's such a nice, like lovable guy. Do you know what I mean? Like he's like, you're like, he's a good person, and it's just like written so well. Also, like there's a storyline with Monica, who is David Tennant's wife, that is like so good, and it's so nuanced, and they build it so well. Do you know what I mean? Where like sometimes these shows, you know how like it's the culture now where it's like, oh, we know you're looking at your phone, so we like hit you over the head with stuff. But I'm like, this is a show where they're like, no, we're trusting that you're picking up on the nuances that we're putting down. And I really appreciate that. Also, there's like not older, they're like in their 40s, like adulterous couple that normally you would be like, oh, like fuck them, they're cheating on their spouses. But like, they love each other so much, and they're also like not like out here being like baddies. They're like average looking people who are just like, wow, I found someone who like loves me while my spouse like sucks. And it's great. Also, I love shows set in the UK because of the sweaters. The sweater game on this show goes really hard, and I really appreciate it.
I love that.
If you haven't watched it, again, now's the time, because season 2 part 2 isn't coming out till September. And these are some of, like, and I think, again, like, people think that I'm just like, oh, I love it because it's British and I love British stuff. But I think, especially now that season 2 is out, it's, like, kind of picking up a little bit more, like awareness, you know?
Yeah.
So I highly recommend it to anyone who's looking for something to watch that's a little sexy, a little fun, a little funny, and also just, like, well-produced.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Review.
Anytime.
On to something opposite of that.
Okay, yeah.
Very opposite of that. Not good quality. Not nuanced at all. So, Armie Hammer.
Yes.
Who, if you don't know, he used to be a pretty famous actor. Until 2021, he was accused of, trigger warning, he was accused of sexual and emotional abuse by multiple women that actually included a fascination with cannibalism.
Yeah.
And his career basically was ruined after that. And so if you don't know about it, there's like a whole documentary about him and his family that it was pretty like eye-opening. It was called House of Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
On Discovery Plus, which I don't know why it wasn't called Hammer Time, but then I found out he actually has a podcast called Armie Hammer Time, which is humiliating.
Also, I'm really tired of House of whatever. Like,
I know.
You know what I mean? Like
okay.
We're over it.
It's kind of giving like their family was more important than they were.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, they weren't like a dynasty, I don't think.
No,
but,
people think that they're the Armie Hammer people, but I don't think they are.
No, I think they... Okay,
I don't know. Anyways.
Doesn't matter. But like after like the accusations, his agency dropped him. He's like completely blacklisted from Hollywood. He had to drop out of a bunch of movies. And I'm giving this background because, you know, this is important. But he supposedly moved to the Cayman Islands and he was selling timeshares for a while. And he was managing an apartment complex.
Yeah. We have an in-depth episode on this from like a year or two ago if you really want to like go back and like...
Oh, yeah.
Listen to it.
Yeah, so go back. So watch the documentary, but also go back and listen to our episode. Forgot about that.
Get it from us first.
Yeah. And so then he kind of like made a return, and like I said, so he now has a podcast, and I'm not sure who the target audience is there, but
he's like religious now, right, or something.
He might be. And he supposedly quit acting because no one would hire him, obviously. But he's returned to acting recently. So he officially returned to acting with a Western movie called Frontier Crucible last year. But more recently, he starred in a movie called Citizen Vigilante, which has been largely... It's very controversial, and it's received pretty negative reviews from everyone except... I'll be honest, very right-wing people.
Yeah. I can tell by the name Citizen
Vigilante. So... It's a crazy title. Yeah, it's a crazy name. So I'm just going to read you the plot, like the synopsis, to kind of give you an understanding of the movie.
Okay.
So Armie Hammer plays Michael Sanders, a vigilante enraged by the breakdown of law and order who targets criminal and rapists, most of whom are migrants, and the corrupt officials who protect them. So...
Okay, so this is like a very pro-ICE type of movie. It sounds like.
It's being criticized for like its plot, and it's very like anti-immigrant message. So, and I'll say normally I would take one for the team and watch it so I could actually give you guys a review and an idea how bad the movie is, but I'm willing to just believe what people say because I am not putting my money towards this movie.
Yeah, don't contribute to the viewership.
Yeah, no. But so this kind of made me laugh. But the director is a German filmmaker named, I think it's Uwe Boll. He's known for his video game adaptation movies, one of which is considered to be one of the worst movies of all time. It's called Alone in the Dark.
Interesting.
But he's described on his own Wikipedia page as just like a cinematic train wreck, and he's mostly known for all the criticism he gets for his movies. And he sounds like a literal like crazy person. Yeah. And he has like all these like kind of crazy like statements he's made. And so he made this movie. It has a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. And in Germany, the film was refused an age rating, meaning it could not be distributed in theaters. Wow. And so the movie overall, it just sounds like it's very like xenophobic. And Armie Hammer's character, he's supposed to be like Batman, which ironically, like back in the day, I would have said Armie Hammer would have made a great Batman. Yeah, he had the voice for it. But he's like supposed to be this like, this just like. Again, like citizen vigilante, and he delivers these like self-righteous like monologues, and he's just kind of like, it's been described as this like pillar of right-wing culture. So like there's one scene in particular, and again I haven't seen it, but like reading the plot, it's described as like this immigrant sexually assaults a young woman, and Armie Hammer's character goes and kills the man and his entire family. What? It's so crazy. And, oh my God. Which is just like, this? It kind of reminded me a little bit of, like, I'm not saying Michael Scott would do this, but it reminds me of like a movie that Michael Scott would make, you know, where it's like Threat Level Midnight, where he's like this, like, it reminded me of that. And you're just like the dialogue and the scenes are just like very like awkward and cringy, and it sounds like overall just like a very ugly movie. And it's basically like a call to violence against migrants. Wow. Yeah, and apparently Armie Hammer is now trying to kind of distance himself from the movie. He said that he reportedly cried after watching the final cut because he didn't realize that's what it would be, and he didn't realize it would be hateful and disgusting. And I'm like, well, did you read the script?
Yeah, how would you not know you're acting out murdering him and his entire family? You're like, I didn't know.
And like what the message is, I don't know. I think it's interesting because so he obviously took the first movie role offered to him, which he is in that position right now. So I think it was sort of meant to be his like comeback. It's his first movie he's led in a while. And he thought it would like revive his career, but I think it just kind of derailed it even further. But he reportedly made $250,000 and apparently would return for a sequel if the price was right. So
he needs money.
He actually does.
Not that like validates it. Like you could go do anything else, but
and it's interesting. So he did he did an interview with a Hollywood Reporter, and I was reading the interview, and he said that he cried after being offered the role, and that he said, I would have done a cat food commercial. I just wanted to work again. Yeah. And I always find it fascinating. Do you say "aw"?
I shouldn't have. I don't know why I said that.
Well, listen. So it's interesting because that is sort of your first, like, "aw." Yeah. Like not and your then first I remember, thing, but then you're like, who is this person? Yeah. So I find it fascinating when people do these articles after they've been like accused of for example, like Harvey Weinstein or somebody, where they've been accused of awful things, but then like these articles or these publications do like a big like spread on them. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm not morbidly curious to like find out how people are like leading their lives after their careers have been like ruined. That is like kind of fascinating to me. I'm not even going to lie. And I think for a lot of people it is. And so, and you know, ruin their own careers. But I just am saying like a part of me sees why a publication would give these people an interview. But like, I just find it so interesting because these people are accused of horrible things. And then, but these articles are like turning it's like how their lives were ruined. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so it's like it almost turns them into victims a little bit because
Yeah.
a lot of, and like what they've learned and what they've like, not even learned, but just like how they've been affected and these people they've met. And, you know, like, because I was reading the article and he's just such a bullshit person.
Yeah.
Like, he's been accused of very awful things, not just the cannibalism, because I think it's easy to like kind of laugh at that and be like, oh, he had this like kink for cannibalism. He was accused of pretty awful things by multiple women.
Yeah.
And but yet the whole article is him talking about how like he is like focused on his children and that he talked to this one man because he claimed that like these celebrities have reached out to him, like celebrity friends have reached out to him, but then they won't like make public statements.
Yeah.
And he was very upset about that. And then he described him as an old Jamaican man who sat down next to him and he was telling him.
He did the accent.
I really wonder. But he said he sat down next to him and he was telling him about his life and he was like, Armie, would you, if you were in a burning building, would you expect your friends to go in and like go into the fire to save you? And he was like, no, I wouldn't. Like, I would expect them, like, I wouldn't want them to burn too. And he's like, there you go. And he
What's
and
the
he walked
of
away.
This old Jamaican man.
I don't know if it's in the Cayman Islands. He just like sat down next to him.
Like, was he just like, he's just in New
and
York?
He said he was just an old man that he met. And I was just like, and then he like understood. And he said this, oh my gosh. And he was like, I didn't even read the rest of this part because it cringed me out so bad. But they were like, Hammer saw, like, the most recent Hollywood film he saw was Obsession in theaters. And he was like, and I got to thinking about wishes because of this movie, like, One Wish Willow.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I thought about, like, and I was like, I'm not even reading more of this. Like, this man, like, it's so crazy.
And here's, like, I don't want to say the problem with journalism because that makes it sound like I'm saying, like, fake news stuff. But with specifically celebrity journalism these days, the problem is, I think, it's not that these publications are, like, giving like a sob story. It's that celebrities are not like willing most of the time to like do sit down interviews and stuff unless they can have like full
control the narrative.
Yeah, control the narrative, whatever. Like even when I read like my Vanity Fair like little like celebrity interviews or whatever, I'm never learning anything new or interesting. It's just like the most boring celebrity articles. And it's like, yeah, they probably had to like, I mean, I'm not saying like this is like if you're a real journalist you should really push it, but they probably like, he was like, I'm only doing this interview if I can like talk about the things I want to talk about.
Yeah, because I don't see a lot of him acknowledging, and I'm sure he can't, but like legally I'm sure he's been advised not to, but I don't see a lot of him just being like, I messed up, my life is terrible, and I regret everything I did. It's him like going through the things he did, and now it's like he's such a martyr.
Yes, he almost does like the Lena Dunham thing where like when he did like some podcast with one of his friends where it's like basically like a after you got canceled type of podcast where it's like he takes accountability and then he takes it right back where he's like, yes, what I did was wrong, but, and it's like, no, just say like what you did was wrong.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's just like, why are we giving them these platforms to just like make us feel sorry for them?
Right.
Like, I don't care that. And again, like it is like a morbid curiosity to see how people who were like on top have completely fallen. That is like kind of interesting to read. I won't lie.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously that's probably why they are giving them these
interviews.
Yeah. But I just think, but at the same time, I'm like, he is not. I'm reading this and it's like he does not at all see how he affected people's lives. It's like we're supposed to be reading and like feeling sorry for him.
Right.
But I mean, that is all that is to say. I just found it interesting that he did this movie, that this movie got the reaction it did, and it's like, oh, that's humiliating.
That is. And I don't think it's going to get better from here for him. I mean,
no. But he is like he's doing like regular interviews, and a lot of people have been criticized, like entertainment journalists like from Deadline who are interviewing him, and it's like, oh, like, yeah, I don't know.
I think like, again, it's like a moral dilemma where it's like you interview him, he'll only probably do the interview if it's like he can say like his narrative, but at the same time like you do need to remind people, I think, of like, this is all the bad shit he did, like we need to hold this person accountable.
Right.
So I don't know what the solution is there.
I don't know.
But that's interesting.
He'll probably continue doing movies, just
Citizen Vigilante.
What an awful plot, awful name. It's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of like right-wing propaganda movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But, well, thank you for sharing that. I didn't know.
Yeah, thought that was not a
Yeah.
fun fact, but
Interesting.
yeah.
An interesting turn of events in 2026.
Right.
But I think that's all we have for you guys today. As always, thank you for joining us. We've had a blast. We hope you did too. And we hope that you listen to every episode from now until the Emmys and then on.
Yeah.
As always, please share, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye.